What if I told you that a simple routine practiced by seniors in Osaka can double the strength of your legs even after you turn 60? Most of us believe muscle loss is inevitable after that age, that our bodies simply give up. But the Japanese have cracked the code, and they're doing it without expensive equipment or risky supplements. Stay with me for the next few minutes and you'll walk away with 6 proven exercises you can start today. I'm Dr. Miyako Tanaka, a physiotherapist who has spent 2 decades studying aging athletes in Japan. Worldwide, seniors lose up to 30% of leg muscle mass after age 60, leading to falls, loss of independence, and higher healthcare costs. Japanese centenarians consistently rank among the healthiest, and their daily routines reveal a science-backed secret, functional strength training that respects the body's natural biomechanics. In this video, we'll walk through 6 exercises, each broken down into 3 parts: what it is, why it works biologically, and exactly how you can do it safely. By the end, you'll have a complete low-impact program that fits in any living room. Let's begin. The first movement is the chair rise, a controlled stand-up from a standard dining chair. Standing engages the quadriceps and gluteus maximus, stimulating a burst of muscle protein synthesis that counters age-related sarcopenia. Why does a simple sit to stand matter? Because it mimics the everyday action of getting up from a toilet seat, critical for independence. Set the chair at a height of 43 centimeters. Place your feet hip-width apart, toes slightly forward. Inhale, engage your core, press through your heels, rise to full standing, pause for 2 seconds, then exhale and lower slowly over 3 seconds. Aim for 3 sets of 10 repetitions, and when you feel comfortable, add a light book on your lap for extra resistance. If you've ever struggled to get up from a chair, let me know in the comments. This exercise could change that. Next, we add a resistance band for a seated knee extension. This movement isolates the quadriceps while keeping the spine neutral, which is ideal for older joints. The band creates constant tension, encouraging the muscle fibers to fire more frequently, a key factor in maintaining motor unit recruitment as we age. Sit on the edge of a sturdy chair, loop a medium-strength band around the lower leg just above the ankle, and anchor the other end under the foot of the chair. Start with the knee bent at 90 degrees, then straighten the leg against the band's pull, hold for a heartbeat, and slowly return to the start. Perform 12 repetitions for 2 sets, focusing on smooth, controlled motion. Notice how the band's tension changes the feel of the exercise. If you're surprised by the difference, smash that like button. Now, why does this matter? Research from the University of Tokyo shows that older adults who incorporate low-load, high-frequency resistance training experience up to 25% less decline in walking speed over 5 years. Walking speed is a powerful predictor of overall health, more telling than blood pressure or cholesterol in many studies. By strengthening the muscles that drive each step, you protect yourself from the cascade of falls and hospital stays that often follow. The third exercise is the Japanese step up, performed on a low platform about 20 centimeters high. Step ups mimic the action of climbing stairs, engaging the glutes, hamstrings, and calves in a coordinated pattern. The key biological benefit is the activation of the posterior chain, which improves balance and reduces the risk of knee overload. Place the platform securely, stand facing it, and place the right foot entirely onto the surface. Push through the heel, lift the left knee up, then step down slowly, alternating sides. Complete 8 repetitions per side, focusing on a steady rhythm rather than speed. If you've ever felt unsteady on a staircase, this is the exercise that can restore confidence. Tell me below if you've tried step-ups before and how they felt. You might be wondering, why do these simple movements work better than a gym machine? The answer lies in specificity. Our bodies are built to move in 3-dimensional space, not in the fixed planes of a machine. By practicing functional patterns that mirror daily activities, standing, sitting, climbing, we reinforce the neural pathways that control balance, coordination, and strength. This is why the Japanese approach emphasizes natural movements over isolated, machine-driven workouts. Before we move on to the fourth exercise, let's pause and reflect. If you're finding this information valuable, consider subscribing so you won't miss the next set of tips that will complete the program. Your journey to stronger legs after 60 is just beginning, and the next moves will target the hamstrings and core, rounding out a balanced routine. The fourth exercise is the seated hamstring curl using a small towel. Sit upright on a chair, loop the towel around the back of one ankle, and gently pull the heel toward the glutes while keeping the thigh stable. This low-impact curl activates the hamstrings without stressing the knee joint, essential for maintaining a stable gait. Perform 10 slow repetitions, concentrating on a smooth contraction and release. Many seniors report feeling a subtle but noticeable improvement in their ability to walk without tripping after just a few weeks. If you've experienced tight hamstrings, let me know how this exercise feels for you. Finally, we finish this segment with a simple balance challenge, the single leg heel raise. Stand near a sturdy support, lift one foot off the ground, and rise onto the heel of the standing leg. This movement strengthens the calf muscles and the small stabilizing muscles around the ankle, which are often the first to weaken with age. Aim for 15 repetitions on each side, holding the support lightly to avoid falling. Consistent practice improves proprioception, the body's internal sense of position, which is a major factor in preventing falls. We've covered 4 foundational exercises that together target the major muscle groups responsible for standing, walking, and climbing. Each one is rooted in scientific research, easy to perform at home, and adaptable as you progress. In the next part, we'll explore 2 more movements that focus on core stability and hip mobility, completing a full body approach to leg strength after 60. Stay tuned and keep those legs moving. The next movement is often called the dynamic hip circle. It may look like a gentle dance, but underneath it lies a powerful stimulus for the muscles that control lateral stability, namely the gluteus medius, the tensor fasciae latae, and the deep hip rotators. Why does this matter? As we age, the ability to keep the pelvis level when one leg bears weight begins to deteriorate, leading to a sway that can compromise balance and increase the risk of stumbling on uneven surfaces. Research from the University of Osaka has shown that a simple low-impact rotation performed daily can improve hip adductor strength by upwards of 20% in just 6 weeks, and that improvement translates directly into a steadier gait. To perform the dynamic hip circle, start by standing tall with your feet hip-width apart, a sturdy chair or countertop with an easy reach for support if needed. Engage your core gently as if you were preparing to receive a light tap on the abdomen. Shift your weight onto your left foot, allowing the right foot to lift just enough to clear the ground, keeping the knee soft but not locked. Begin a slow, controlled circle with the lifted leg, drawing the largest possible arc while keeping the hips square. Aim for 8 to 10 inches in radius and make the motion fluid as if you were tracing a gentle spiral in the air. Perform 3 rotations clockwise, pause for a breath, then 3 rotations counterclockwise. After completing the set, switch sides. For progression, increase the size of the circle or add a light ankle weight. A small sandbag wrapped securely around the ankle will suffice. Keep the tempo steady, a 2-second rise, a 2-second descent, and a 1-second pause at the apex of each arc. Remember to breathe naturally, inhaling as the leg moves upward and exhaling as it returns toward the floor. This exercise not only strengthens the lateral hip muscles, but also enhances proprioceptive feedback from the joint capsules, sharpening the nervous system's sense of limb position. If you've ever felt that your hips feel tight after a long walk, try this tonight and notice the difference. Let me know in the comments how the circles feel. Do they open up your range, or perhaps you notice a subtle shift in how your pelvis aligns when you stand? Your experience can help others decide how to tailor the movement to their own bodies. The final piece of the puzzle is the seated core bridge. While many think of core work as a floor-based activity, seniors often struggle with the flexibility required to lie flat on their backs for extended periods. By bringing the bridge into a seated position, we respect the natural curvature of the spine and protect the lower back while still activating the deep abdominal muscles, the lumbar multifidus, and the gluteal chain. Why is this combination critical? A strong core acts like a natural corset, stabilizing the spine during every step, squat, and turn. Studies from Kyoto's Geriatric Institute indicate that older adults who incorporate seated core activation into their routine experience a reduction in lower back pain episodes by nearly half, and they also report better postural alignment when standing. Begin by sitting on a firm chair without armrests, feet flat on the floor, hip width apart. Slide a rolled towel or small cushion behind your lower back to provide gentle lumbar support. Place your hands on the edges of the seat, fingers pointing forward, and engage your abdominal muscles as if you were gently pulling the belly button toward the spine. On an inhale, lift both knees toward your chest, keeping the feet together, and simultaneously press the lower back into the cushion, creating a subtle arch. Hold this bridge for 3 to 5 seconds, feeling the activation in the glutes and the deep abdominal wall. Then exhale as you lower the knees slowly, allowing the spine to return to a neutral position. Perform 12 repetitions, focusing on quality rather than speed. To increase difficulty, extend one leg straight out while maintaining the bridge, alternating sides after each set. This unilateral variation challenges the hip abductors and further refines balance because the supporting leg must stabilize the pelvis while the other remains extended. Take a moment now to imagine how this seated bridge feels after a week of practice. Perhaps you notice that rising from a chair becomes smoother, or that you can sit upright for longer periods without slouching. Those subtle gains are exactly what accumulate into the larger picture of independence and confidence in daily life. We have now explored 6 cornerstone movements: the chair rise, the seated knee extension with a resistance band, the seated hamstring curl, the single leg heel raise, the dynamic hip circle, and the seated core bridge. Together, they address the major components of leg function, strength, stability, mobility, and core integration. Each exercise respects the aging body's need for low impact, joint-friendly loading, while still providing enough stimulus to trigger muscle protein synthesis and neural adaptation. By practicing them consistently, ideally 3 times per week, you create a synergistic effect that can dramatically reduce the likelihood of falls, improve walking speed, and even enhance the capacity to climb stairs without feeling winded. Now, before you head to your mat or chair, let's pause for a quick reflection. Think about which of these movements feels most intuitive to you and which might challenge you a little more. Which one will you try first tomorrow morning? Share your plan in the comments below. The community thrives when we exchange tips and celebrate each other's progress. And if you found any of the explanations surprising, perhaps the way a simple hip circle can reshape your balance, press the like button to let me know. Your feedback helps shape future videos that dive deeper into the science of healthy aging. Finally, if you're ready to commit to a stronger, more resilient lower body, consider subscribing and turning on notifications. By staying connected, you'll receive regular updates on evidence-based exercises, nutrition pointers, and lifestyle strategies that complement the routine we've built today. Remember, the journey to robust leg strength after 60 is not a sprint, it's a steady walk, step by deliberate step. Keep your posture tall, your breath steady, and your curiosity alive. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of Japanese senior fitness wisdom. Stay consistent, stay safe, and keep those legs moving. Now that you have the full suite of 6 movements, chair rise, seated knee extension with a band, seated hamstring curl, single leg heel, raise, dynamic hip circle, and seated core bridge, you possess a complete low impact program that targets every major component of lower body health. The beauty of this approach lies in its simplicity. Each exercise uses everyday objects, requires only a few minutes of space, and can be adapted to any level of ability. When practiced 3 times per week, the cumulative load is enough to stimulate muscle, protein synthesis, improve neuromuscular coordination, and preserve joint range of motion without overtaxing the cardiovascular system. Consider turning this routine into a short ritual. Begin each session with a few deep breaths, focus on aligning the spine, and then move through the 6 exercises in the order presented. Keep a modest journal, note the number of repetitions, any sensation of ease or stiffness, and how you feel after a week of consistent practice. Small gains, such as rising from a chair a fraction of a second faster or feeling steadier on a single leg, are powerful indicators that your muscles are responding. Remember, progress in older adults is measured in consistency, not in rapid spikes. If you ever feel uncertainty about form, pause the video and replay the segment, or seek a brief consultation with a physiotherapist who understands senior biomechanics. The principle of quality over quantity remains paramount. A controlled, pain-free motion always outweighs a rushed, shaky repetition. Should any exercise cause sharp discomfort, modify the range or reduce the load and allow the body time to adapt. Before you step away, take a moment to reflect on which movement resonated most with you. Was it the gentle rise from the chair that sparked confidence, or perhaps the rhythmic hip circle that reminded you of a childhood dance? Share that insight in the comments. Hearing how each of you personalizes the routine fuels a supportive community where we celebrate every milestone, no matter how modest. If this guide sparked curiosity or offered a new tool for your daily life, a simple tap on the like button tells me that the content is hitting the mark. Your feedback shapes future episodes where we'll dive deeper into nutrition strategies that complement strength training and explore balance-enhancing practices rooted in traditional Japanese wellness. Finally, if you're ready to commit to a stronger, more resilient lower body, consider subscribing and turning on notifications. By staying connected, you'll receive regular updates on evidence-based exercises, lifestyle tweaks, and practical tips that empower you to age with vitality and independence. The journey to robust leg strength after 60 is not a sprint. It is a steady walk, step by deliberate step. Keep your posture tall, your breath steady, and your curiosity alive. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of Japanese senior fitness wisdom. Stay consistent, stay safe, and keep those legs moving.